so many relationships and marriages end because of financial hard times and material things. I am going to share with you something that happened very early on in my relationship with my husband and what the Lord taught me about material possessions through that experience and how it solidified my relationship with my husband, how it confirmed my love for him. So that when you all face difficult times together, you know how to weather that storm and remember the most important thing, which is love for each other, love for the Lord. So let me share with you what happened in my relationship. Very early on, this has to be like within the first month or 2 months of my husband and I um, starting our relationship. And we got married in under 3 months, guys. So the timeline of our relationship is like this. We had our first date. He moved in within the first 2 weeks, I believe, and then we were married in like 3 months, and we've been together for 3 years. And we have a baby boy who's almost two now. He at the time didn't have a vehicle. I was the one who had the vehicle in the relationship, and he messed up the vehicle multiple times. Like he was a terrible driver. And it got to the point where we were on a dinner date one night, and I had been thinking about this, like, because he was messing the car up. He got in so many incidents. It was insane. This is the only vehicle we have. This is my vehicle that my mother had given me when I went to college, and it's totally paid off and our only form of transportation. And he was a terrible driver, and he drove like a maniac, still does. um and so at dinner I had a conversation with him, one of those serious talks, and I said, I don't want to drive any vehicle anymore. You can't drive my car anymore. And I knew it was going to be a difficult conversation, but I had no idea it would go where it went. It got to the point in the restaurant where we were arguing like embarrassingly loud. And it was an embarrassing scene. You know, like when you're in a restaurant and you know the couple next to you is like fighting and it's like serious. That was us. And he basically said if he can't drive the vehicle, the relationship is over. And stay with me. He basically said if he can't drive the vehicle, then the relationship is over. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he was saying. That if I'm going to be this like crazy over the vehicle, then that's it. Like, there's no point in us continuing. And that moment, all of a sudden, the vehicle meant nothing to me because what? Are you saying you're going to end the relationship over this? I didn't understand it in that moment, but I understood. I knew my feelings for him enough to know that I don't care about the vehicle. Like, it's never that serious. It's definitely not that serious. And I don't know why at that time, I didn't understand why that was such a serious thing to him. But immediately, once that came into play, that this you would walk away from the relationship for this, I knew what was important to me. He was important to me. I don't care about the vehicle that much. So that was it. I dropped it and allowed him to drive the vehicle. But let me break this down for you guys, right? Because on the worldly perspective of that is, okay, you just let him run all over you. This is your vehicle. He's living in your place, and he's being materialistic and manipulative and taking advantage of you by threatening to end the relationship over you not wanting him to drive your vehicle. You have a right to not want him to drive your vehicle. If he keeps messing it up, he's a bad driver. If he wants transportation so bad, then he needs to work and go get his own vehicle. That's the worldly perspective of it. But my husband is a true man of God, and it was not about the vehicle, really. He understood that, how to say this, just like how when a man speaks, the Lord knows what's in their heart. My husband understood what was in my heart when I said to him, "You can't drive the vehicle anymore." He saw me as his wife then, even though we hadn't been married just yet. But he saw me as his wife. And here he is going to share his entire life with me, everything with me. And I'm telling him I can't, he can't drive my vehicle. If that's the mentality that you have, then there's no way that we can work. I'm going to share my entire life with you. You can't share your vehicle with me. You are so concerned about material things that you would keep something back from me. If that's the way that your heart is, if that's how warped your mind is, that you think the material thing is more important than the relationship between the husband and wife, the man and woman, your partner, then there's no way a marriage between you and I can work. So that's it. I'm going to walk away now. I know how to read the heart of a man. The Spirit of the Lord has given me eyes to see deeper than the surface level. Think about the story of, I'm forgetting the name of the prophet, but there's a story in the Bible of a prophet of the Lord who, in this time, the Israelites, God's chosen people, who he rescued out of Egypt, where they were in bondage, and he brought them out of bondage and gave them a promised land. Right? The Israelites asked for a king to be put over them. So no more that they want to be led by the prophet of the Lord. They wanted a king to be put over them because they saw how the other people, other communities around them, they had kings. And so they lusted after that, and they wanted to be just like the other people. Getting away from the point here. Israel asked for a king, and the prophet of the Lord went to go anoint the king. God sends the prophet into a certain place, and so he's looking at the men of the land, and he chooses Saul, which is a handsome guy. He's like the tallest, the most handsome, a well-groomed guy. He is anointed as the first king over Israel. And then he fucks up. Like, he was more concerned with his title and his position and pleasing the people than he was with pleasing God. And so the next king that gets anointed, when the prophet of the Lord is sent to go anoint this king, he goes to a man's household, and this man has many sons. And so he's looking at all of the sons. The Lord told him that the one that he's going to anoint as king is in this household, and he's looking at their physical appearance just like he did with the first guy. But the Lord tells him, no, do not look at the none of these sons are the ones that I'm choosing, because I'm not looking at the outer appearance. Man looks at the outer appearance. I'm looking at the heart. There's another son, and he's missing. Get him. He is the one that is going to be anointed king over Israel, David. And what does the Lord say about David? That David is a man after God's own heart. So basically, he has a heart like God's heart. He is a good man. He's a righteous man. And all that is to say that the Lord sees the heart of a man. You can look all pretty and be polite, be nice, do the things that seem good and righteous in the eyes of the world, but God knows when there's wickedness in a man's heart. And so, although on the outside it just appeared that I was doing something very reasonable according to the world standards of, hello, you're a bad driver, you're fucking up our only form of transportation, it's my vehicle, I don't want you to drive it anymore. That seems reasonable and logical to the world. But the Lord had given him and has given him, and all believers, eyes to see deeper than the surface level of what those words, though, what I was saying, which, Lord, give me better words to explain this. I hope all you're tracking. I hope all you're understanding where I'm going with this. That to express that meant I was valuing material things over my relationship, over love. Material things mean nothing. God can replace, renew, restore, give you better than anything that you have right now. And material things can't go to heaven with you. They return to the dust just like your body returns to the dust. It's only the spirit that goes up. It's only the spirit, your soul, that's important. God cares about the salvation of your soul. He cares about the salvation of your soul so much that and the word of God says it's better that that you lose an eye, you lose a limb, you lose some part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into the fire, as in thrown into hell, eternal damnation, because you sinned and weren't able to cut off that part of you that was doing wrong. So if God speaks so sternly and strong about even your physical body, what is an object? What is a car? What is a television? What is your phone? These things are nothing to him. And my husband understood that. So I am just thinking, oh, it's about a car. It's a silly conversation about a car. But no, he understood that no, this is about you idolizing something. This is about you putting more value on objects than on God's love. So that's the breakdown of that, right? Um and that moment for me also, the Lord really taught me a big lesson there, because I learned that material things mean nothing. I learned not to put so much value on material things. At that time, that was the most valuable thing I owned. That was the most valuable thing I owned. I had just graduated from college. Well, didn't just. It was about 3 or 4. I was 3 or 4 years out of college, something like that. Um, yeah, 3 years out of college, and I was living in an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment, and I just started my career. I'm pretty much, I wouldn't say I was living like paycheck to paycheck, but I mean, I wasn't making that great money, and I owned nothing. The only thing I owned was this vehicle. That was my asset. That's it. And that's not even an asset. But so just think, that's the most valuable thing I have, and a really important part of my life, because I need to get to and from work and groceries and all that. So it was a big deal to me. And so God took the most valuable thing in my life at that time, to me, most valuable material possession I had, and he fucked it up. He had the person that I love do over and over again things to it that was putting it at risk, me potentially completely losing it. And we eventually, he did. we got into an incident, or somebody hit us. I don't even remember what the incident was, but we sold the vehicle. So God will really test you. You say you love a person, you say you love me, you say that you want to do what is righteous, that you believe my statutes. Yeah, bet, let's see. Let's test that out. The Lord will test you. And when it comes time to when you're in the middle of that test, that's when you apply what you've been learning in the word. God doesn't do paper and pencil tests. Your life is the test. Your life is the test. Um Oh, another thing that happened during that time is this was one of my first dreams with the Lord, that He gave me a dream that I was in a car. My husband was driving. At this time, we're still not married yet, right? My husband was driving. I think my husband was driving. I think we were still not married at this time. Anyways, my husband was driving, and he was driving recklessly, like he was driving super fast. And I remember it started off normal driving, and then he just got faster and faster. And in the dream, I'm like, what is going on? At first, I can't even believe it, like that he would drive so recklessly and put me in such danger. And then I'm like, I was trying to get his attention, make him stop, and he wasn't listening to me at all. Just like in real life, he was not listening to me at all. He kept getting in instance. He kept driving like a maniac. Um and so in this dream, I realized he's not listening to me. I have to get out and save myself. And I unbuckle my seatbelt and I jump out of the, the car door. I jump out of the moving car and, like, tuck and roll. And then sure enough, a few feet ahead, he gets into a car accident, and he flies off the road into the ditch on the side of the road. And so then I walk up to where the incident is, and I look into the ditch where he fell, like this huge hole that the car tumbled into. And when I look, I some of the details are escaping me. I don't remember if the car was like wrecked. I saw the car wrecked in the hole first and then this, or if I just saw this. But the point is, what I saw is that the vehicle was completely brand new and perfect. Like, the wreck happened, but then when I looked into where it should have been a total vehicle, the vehicle was totally brand new. And so I didn't have the understanding to interpret dreams a whole bunch then, but I mean that dream is pretty clear. Uh the Lord was clearly showing me that it doesn't matter what happens to the vehicle, He's able to restore. He's able to give me a new one. And He did. I got a new, better vehicle than what I had, which was a old ass Ford Escape that's been in my family for years. So, to my virtuous wives, when you go through a hard financial time with your husband, the world will try to convince you that you don't have to show him the same level of love, affection, helpfulness, submissiveness, kindness that you would if he was properly providing. And that is a lie. Does God only send rain upon the righteous? Does he only let the sun shine on those who are obeying him? No. The Lord sends rain upon all. The Lord lets his sun shine upon all. The Lord wakes us up every single day, even if the day before we didn't even give him praise. The love of the Lord is not dependent on our actions. He doesn't take back his love and affection and loving kindnesses and mercies when we are not doing certain actions. Yes, he disciplines, but even his discipline is an act of love. The point is that the love that you express to your husband, it should be steadfast. You should be striving to be like Christ at all times. And in how that comes out as a wife is that you are still submissive to him. You are still kind to him. You are still helpful to him. You're not argumentative to him. You support him even when you are not receiving from him, for in this instance we're talking about finances, what you want to receive or what you think you ought to receive, what you think he should be providing. You still express the love of Christ to him at all times, just like how Christ never leaves nor forsakes you. You don't leave or forsake your husband. You made a covenant before the Lord to be with him forever. So it doesn't matter what financial circumstance you guys are facing, be there to support him through it. You all are a unit. Um, when women and men in too, this is it applies to both. When people let financial situations tear them apart in their relationships, what that shows is that you never had real love for that person anyways. I have I've spoken with women before who say that, and this is wasn't these conversations weren't all about finances, but that they go through a certain thing with their partner, like they're arguing about something specific, he's doing something that she doesn't like or vice versa, and they're thinking about ending the relationship, they're thinking about ending the marriage. Basically they went from 0 to 100 because the argument in my head is not even worth that. But beyond that, the thing is, I've never even considered that with my husband. Before we were even married, and then during our marriage, no matter what kind of argument we're having or disagreement we're having, my mind never goes there. My mind never goes to, I'm going to end this. I have true love for him. It's not. It doesn't leave nor forsake, and that's because I'm submitted to the Lord. That's because I'm seeking the Lord. That's because I am serving the Lord. I'm in my Bible. I'm on my knees. I'm raising my hands. And God has given me a pure heart, a clean heart, a new tongue. My mind never goes to, oh, I'm going to end. It never even goes there. It's insane to me that people, like, I'm replaying some conversations that I've had with female friends and people who DM me counseling and stuff like that. And I'm like, what? So I tell these women, okay, I, this this story that I told you guys earlier in this video of me and my husband arguing about the vehicle and him saying that he would leave, if there was any moment in our relationship where I could have considered ending it, that was it. Because bro, the most valuable thing I own, you are just fucking it up left and right. And now you're saying, oh, you're going to end the relationship if I don't let you drive my car. Yeah, get to step in. Like that could have been the moment that I went there, been like, yeah, I'm gonna end the relationship over this. But the complete opposite happened. Once it became an ultimatum between letting him drive the car and the relationship, of course, you can drive the car. That shit is not that important. You're important to me, and that's how you should feel towards your partner. That's how you should feel towards your spouse. But the world will get you to think, um, oh no, it's logical. It's justified. Nothing justifies putting a material object above your love for another human. Material objects are nothing. The Lord can replace these things. The Lord told his prophet to go, his apostle to go to the seaside, and the first fish that comes up, open its mouth and get the money out of it. That's going to be our taxes. Just to show us how easy it is for him to make financial provision. He could make a fish come and give you some money if you really need money that bad. It's never that serious. The material things are never that serious. What matters is the spiritual. What matters is your love. If this helped you, go to virtuouswifeoftruth.com and join the Virtuous Woman Community and join the Virtuous Woman course that is for wives. Well, you don't have to be a wife yet, but it is for women, wives, mothers, who are seeking to be that godly, virtuous woman that the Lord has called you to be. There will be structure. There will be recorded co- recorded. Sorry, guys, I've a freaking message popped up and it totally cut my train of thought on the top of my screen. There will be recorded videos that you can go through at your own pace, and some of them will just be like a podcast kind of scene with just audio. There will be some live sessions as the Holy Spirit leads me, but basically a structured deep dive into being a virtuous woman of God. Registration is open now. Classes start classes like we're going to school. This is the school. This is the school of virtuous womanhood. Class starts on the course goes live on January 1st, 2026. Because I don't know when you'll be watching this video. Like, subscribe, comment below. Let me hear how this helped you, what questions you have, what other topics you want covered. The Lord bless you all.